Hey everyone, and welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as Podcast. Today we're tuning into a story that's all about invisible waves and global connections, and maybe even a little bit of historical mystery. We're going on a deep dive into the world of radio.
It's a world that's honestly far more expansive than most people think. Radio is so ingrained in our lives, it's easy to forget how revolutionary it really was and still is.
Right. I mean, we use it for everything these days. Music, news, phone calls, GPS, it's everywhere. But before we jump into all those amazing applications of radio, let's rewind a little bit. What exactly are radio waves, and how did we even discover this invisible force?
Well, you see, radio waves are actually a type of electromagnetic radiation, just like light and X-rays. The key difference, though, is in their frequency. Radio waves have the longest wavelengths and the lowest frequencies in the electromagnetic spectrum.
So they're like the mellow, laid-back cousins of the electromagnetic family. Not as flashy as light or as intense as X-rays.
Haha. I like that. That's a great way to put it. And what's really fascinating is that we didn't even know they existed until the late 19th century. It was a Scottish physicist, James Clerk Maxwell, who first predicted their existence back in 1873 through his groundbreaking work on electromagnetism.
Ah, Maxwell, the theoretical mastermind. But it takes more than just theories to convince the scientific community, right?
Absolutely. And that's where Heinrich Hertz comes in. A German physicist who in 1886 actually generated and detected radio waves for the first time in a lab setting. He used a spark gap transmitter, which basically created an electric spark that emitted these waves. Can you imagine being the first person to witness this invisible force in action?
That must have been a truly mind-blowing moment to see proof of something that was until then just a theoretical concept. It's like opening a door to a whole new dimension.
Exactly. Hertz's experiments were able to confirm Maxwell's theories and paved the way for the development of radio technology as we know it. It's like he provided the first glimpse into this invisible world of radio waves.
And then comes the innovator, who really turned those waves into a communication revolution. Guglielmo Marconi. He was obsessed with the idea of sending messages wirelessly over long distances.
Marconi was a true visionary and a bit of a daredevil, too. He was convinced that these invisible waves could be harnessed for communication, and he set out to prove it. In 1895, he sent the first wireless Morse code message over a distance of 1 kilometer. Not a huge distance by today's standards, but back then it was a monumental achievement.
A kilometer without wires. That must have seemed like pure magic at the time.
Absolutely. People were astonished. Imagine the possibilities that this opened up. Communication no longer had to be tethered to wires. Marconi's invention really sparked a frenzy of innovation and experimentation in the field.
And it all kind of snowballed from there.
Mhm.
Speaking of snowballing, if you're enjoying this deep dive into radio, why not hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other fascinating stories on Tell Me More. Okay, back to Marconi. He wasn't content with just a kilometer, was he?
No, not at all. Marconi was determined to push the boundaries of wireless communication further. He kept experimenting, kept refining his equipment, and extending the range of his transmissions.
And this is where the story takes a dramatic turn. He sets his sights on a truly audacious goal, sending a signal across the Atlantic Ocean.
You got it. In 1901, Marconi set up a powerful transmitter in Cornwall, England, and a receiver in St. John's, Newfoundland, which is over 3,000 kilometers apart. The world held its breath wondering if this seemingly impossible feat could actually be achieved.
I can only imagine the tension and anticipation at the time. It was like a moonshot moment for the early 20th century.
And against all odds, Marconi succeeded. On December 12, 1901, faint but unmistakable signals, the letter S in Morse code, were received in Newfoundland. The news spread like wildfire, electrifying the world. It was a pivotal moment, a testament to human ingenuity, the power of radio waves.
This single event completely changed the course of history. It was the dawn of a new era in communication.
Absolutely. Marconi's transatlantic transmission completely shattered the limitations of distance, paving the way for global communication as we know it. It's really hard to overstate the significance of this achievement. It sparked an explosion of innovation in radio technology, leading to the development of broadcasting, navigation systems, and countless other applications that have really shaped our modern world.
It really is incredible to think about. This invisible force, once just a theoretical concept, became the backbone of global communication. But how does it actually work? I have to admit, I'm still a bit fuzzy on the technical details.
I'm happy to break it down. It's actually a beautifully simple concept at its core. Imagine you want to send a message across a room without speaking.
Okay, I'm intrigued. So no shouting across the room.
Not a word. Let's say you decide to throw a ball with a note attached. The ball is like the radio wave carrying your message. You throwing the ball is analogous to the transmitter, which generates the radio waves.
Okay, so the transmitter is like the message launcher.
Exactly. Now, on the other side of the room, your friend catches the ball. That's the receiver, which picks up the radio waves. They read the note. That's the process of decoding the message contained within the radio waves.
That makes so much sense. So the radio wave is the messenger carrying information through the air.
Right. And just like you need a clear path to throw the ball, radio waves also need a clear path to travel. That's why antennas are so important. They act like a guide, helping to focus and direct the radio waves towards the receiver.
Ah, so the antenna is like giving the radio wave a boost, making sure it reaches its destination.
Precisely. And just like a stronger throw sends the ball farther, a more powerful transmitter can send radio waves over longer distances.
Okay, that makes sense. But what about different types of radio communication? We have AM radio, FM radio, satellite radio. They all use radio waves, but they sound different and have different ranges. How does that work?
That's a great question, and it gets to the heart of how we encode information onto radio waves. You see, simply transmitting a radio wave doesn't convey any information on its own. It's like throwing a blank ball across the room. Your friend might catch it, but they won't know what you wanted to tell them. To carry information, we need to modulate the radio wave, which basically means changing some aspect of it to represent the message we want to send.
Okay, modulation. It's like writing the note on the ball before you throw it.
Exactly. And there are two main ways to modulate a radio wave: amplitude modulation, or AM, and frequency modulation, which is FM. With AM, we change the amplitude or strength of the wave to represent the audio signal. It's like throwing the ball with varying degrees of force, a stronger throw for a louder sound, a weaker throw for a softer sound.
That explains why AM radio sometimes sounds a bit fuzzy or has static. It's like the ball getting jostled around on its way across the room, kind of distorting the message a bit.
That's a great analogy. AM radio is susceptible to interference because changes in the environment can affect the amplitude of the wave. It's also limited in its frequency range, which means it can't carry as much information, resulting in lower sound quality. But it does have a longer range, which is why it's still used for broadcasting over long distances.
So AM is the marathon runner of radio waves. Not the fastest, but definitely goes the distance.
That's a perfect way to put it. Now, with FM radio, we change the frequency of the wave instead of its amplitude. It's like throwing the ball at different speeds to represent different sounds: a faster throw for a higher pitch, a slower throw for a lower pitch.
So that explains why FM radio sounds so much clearer. The message is encoded in the frequency, which isn't as susceptible to interference.
Exactly. FM radio offers much higher sound quality and a wider frequency range, allowing for stereo sound and additional data transmission. However, FM waves do have a shorter range than AM waves, which is why you might lose your favorite FM station when you drive too far out of the city.
So FM is the sprinter then. High performance, but over a shorter distance. And this leads us to digital radio, which is becoming increasingly popular these days. What's the story with digital radio?
Digital radio, like DAB, digital audio broadcasting, takes a completely different approach. Instead of modulating analog audio signals onto a radio wave, it converts the audio into digital data and transmits it as a series of ones and zeros.
So it's like writing the message in binary code on the ball instead of using regular words.
Exactly. And this digital approach offers several advantages. First, it's much more resistant to interference because digital data is less prone to distortion than analog signals. Second, it allows for higher sound quality and more efficient use of the radio spectrum, meaning more stations can fit within a given frequency band.
So digital radio is like upgrading to a high-definition TV. Sharper picture, better sound, and more channels to choose from. It's the future of radio broadcasting.
It certainly seems that way. Some countries are already phasing out analog radio broadcasting entirely, making the switch to an all-digital system. This transition offers exciting possibilities for radio, with enhanced features like electronic program guides and interactive content.
So digital radio is not just about better sound, but a richer listening experience overall. It's like radio is catching up to the digital age.
Precisely. And then there's satellite radio, which takes radio broadcasting to a whole new level, literally.
Now we're talking space-age technology. Tell me more about satellite radio. How does it work? And what makes it different from terrestrial radio?
Well, satellite radio uses satellites in orbit to broadcast signals directly to receivers on Earth. These satellites act like giant relay stations in the sky, covering vast geographical areas. It's like throwing the ball from space, ensuring it can reach receivers far beyond the horizon.
That's incredible. No wonder satellite radio offers such wide coverage and consistent sound quality. It's like having a personal radio tower in space.
Exactly. Because the signal is coming from space, it's not affected by terrestrial obstacles like buildings or mountains. This means you get crystal clear reception almost anywhere, even in remote areas where traditional radio signals might be weak or non-existent.
So satellite radio is the ultimate road trip companion. You can tune in to your favorite stations no matter where you are.
Absolutely. It's perfect for long journeys or for people living in areas with limited terrestrial radio coverage. And because it's a subscription-based service, you also get a wider range of programming, including commercial-free music, exclusive talk shows, and specialized channels catering to specific interests.
So satellite radio is like the premium cable package of the radio world. More choices, better quality, and a wider reach. It's amazing how radio technology has evolved to offer such a diverse range of listening experiences.
It really is. From the crackling static of early AM broadcasts to the crystal clear digital streams of today, radio has come a long way, constantly adapting and innovating to meet our ever-evolving communication needs. And this is just the beginning of our radio adventure.
Okay, I'm hooked. We've covered the basics of radio waves and broadcasting, but there's so much more to explore. What other fascinating applications of radio are we going to uncover in this deep dive?
Oh, we're just getting started. In the next part of our journey, we'll delve into the world of two-way radio communication, from the iconic walkie-talkies to the ubiquitous cell phones that have revolutionized our lives. We'll also uncover the fascinating world of data communication and how radio waves power our wireless networks and connect our devices.
It's mind-blowing to think about how much we rely on radio waves without even realizing it. They're the invisible threads that weave together our modern world, connecting us in ways we often take for granted. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights in the next part of our deep dive into the world of radio.
You won't want to miss it. There's a lot more to uncover.
Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast, where we're on a journey through the fascinating world of radio. We've already uncovered the origins of radio waves and how they revolutionized broadcasting, but now it's time to explore another captivating facet of this technology, two-way communication.
That's right, we're moving from one-to-many broadcasts to the realm of direct conversations, where radio waves become the bridge for personal connections.
And what better place to start than with the iconic walkie-talkie, a true symbol of instant communication and, for many of us, childhood adventures.
The walkie-talkie, that trusty handheld device that lets you talk to someone miles away, it's a classic example of half-duplex radio communication.
Half-duplex? That sounds intriguing. What exactly does that mean in the world of radio?
Well, it means that communication can only happen in one direction at a time. Think of it like a seesaw. One person talks while the other listens, and then they switch roles. That's why walkie-talkies have that iconic push-to-talk button.
Ah, so it's like a synchronized radio dance. You press to talk, release to listen.
Exactly. And while it might seem like a simple concept, it really revolutionized communication in many fields. From coordinating military operations during World War II to guiding firefighters through smoky buildings, walkie-talkies provided a lifeline in situations where instant communication was critical.
It's amazing how such a seemingly simple device, based on the same principles we've been discussing, can have such a profound impact.
And that's the beauty of radio technology. It can be adapted and applied in so many ways. But the walkie-talkie was really just the beginning. As technology advanced, we moved from half-duplex to full-duplex communication, where two people can talk and listen simultaneously, just like a regular phone conversation.
And this paved the way for the mobile phone revolution, which has fundamentally changed the way we live, work, and connect with each other.
It's hard to imagine life without mobile phones now, isn't it? They've become an extension of ourselves, allowing us to stay connected no matter where we are. And at the heart of this revolution lie radio waves, tirelessly carrying our voices, messages, and data across vast distances.
It's like having a personal walkie-talkie with global reach.
Exactly. And just like walkie-talkies, mobile phones rely on a network of base stations or cell towers to relay signals. These towers act like strategically placed relay runners, passing the signal from one to another until it reaches its destination.
So it's like a high-tech game of telephone, but with radio waves instead of whispered secrets.
That's a great analogy. And the technology itself has evolved dramatically over the years. We've gone from the clunky analog phones of the 1980s, with their limited range and spotty reception, to the sleek, powerful smartphones of today, capable of streaming high-definition video and connecting us to the internet at blazing speeds.
It's remarkable how quickly mobile phone technology has advanced, driven by our, I guess you could say, insatiable demand for faster, more reliable communication.
Absolutely. And as we demand more from our mobile devices, the technology keeps pushing the boundaries. We've seen the rise of 3G, 4G, and now 5G networks, each generation offering faster speeds, lower latency, and greater capacity.
It's like the mobile phone industry is on a constant quest for speed and efficiency, always striving to squeeze more data through the airwaves.
Exactly. And with each new generation, we unlock new possibilities. 5G, for example, is not just about faster downloads. It's about enabling a whole new ecosystem of connected devices, from self-driving cars to smart cities and everything in between.
It's like 5G is laying the foundation for a hyper-connected future, where everything is seamlessly linked through radio waves. It's exciting and a little bit daunting at the same time.
It is. And speaking of daunting, what happens when you're in a remote area? Far from any cell towers. That's where satellite phones come into play.
Ah, yes, the lifeline for adventurers, explorers, and really anyone venturing off the grid.
Satellite phones bypass the need for terrestrial cell towers by communicating directly with satellites orbiting Earth. They offer global coverage, meaning you can make calls and send messages from virtually anywhere on the planet.
It's like having a personal satellite dish in your pocket, connecting you to the world no matter where you are. But satellite phones aren't just for extreme adventurers, are they?
No, not at all. They're also essential tools for disaster relief efforts, military operations, and anyone working in remote or hazardous environments where reliable communication is paramount.
It's a reminder that radio technology can be both a luxury and a necessity, connecting us in ways that were once unimaginable.
That's a great point. And as we become increasingly reliant on mobile communication, it's important to remember the critical role radio waves play in keeping us connected. But two-way communication is just one aspect of this versatile technology. Radio waves are also the backbone of our digital world, powering the wireless networks that connect our devices and allow us to access the internet without wires.
Okay, now we're entering the realm of Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and all those wireless wonders that have become so essential to our modern lives. I have to admit, I take Wi-Fi for granted, but I'm curious to learn more about how it works its magic.
Well, Wi-Fi, which stands for wireless fidelity, is a technology that uses radio waves to create a wireless local area network, or WLAN. Think of it like a miniature radio station in your home or office, transmitting data to and from your devices.
So my laptop, phone, and smart speaker are all tuning in to this miniature radio station.
Exactly. They're all equipped with Wi-Fi adapters that allow them to communicate with the wireless router, which acts like the central hub of the network. The router sends and receives data packets over radio waves, allowing your devices to access the internet and share information with each other.
It's amazing how seamless it all feels. I just connect to the Wi-Fi network and voila, I'm online.
And that seamless experience is the result of decades of innovation in radio technology. Wi-Fi standards have evolved over time, with each new generation offering faster speeds and greater range. We've gone from the early 802.11b standard with its modest 11 melod B standard to the latest Wi-Fi 6 standard, capable of delivering gigabit speeds and supporting multiple devices simultaneously.
It's like Wi-Fi's on a constant quest for speed and efficiency, just like mobile phone network.
Exactly. As our demand for wireless data grows, so does the need for faster, more robust Wi-Fi networks. And with the rise of the Internet of Things, IoT, where everyday objects are becoming connected, the demand for reliable wireless connectivity will only continue to increase.
It's mind-boggling to think about, right?
Yeah.
Our homes, offices, and even entire cities are becoming interwoven with these invisible networks of radio waves, connecting us in ways we're only beginning to fully grasp.
It's a truly transformative technology, reshaping how we live, work, and interact with the world. But Wi-Fi is just one piece of the wireless puzzle. Another technology that's become ubiquitous is Bluetooth, that handy little feature that lets us connect our devices wirelessly.
Ah, Bluetooth, the unsung hero of wireless connectivity. I use it every day to connect my headphones to my phone, but I have to admit, I don't know much about how it works.
Well, Bluetooth operates on a similar principle to Wi-Fi, using radio waves to create a wireless personal area network, or PAN. But unlike Wi-Fi, which is designed for connecting to the internet and sharing data over longer distances, Bluetooth is all about short-range, point-to-point communication between devices.
So it's like a private conversation between two devices, using radio waves as their whispers.
That's a great way to put it. Bluetooth is perfect for connecting devices like headphones, speakers, keyboards, and mice to your phone or computer. It's all about convenience and eliminating the clutter of wires.
It's one of those technologies that once you have it, you can't imagine living without it. No more tangled headphone cords or searching for the right cable. Just a quick Bluetooth pairing, and you're good to go.
Exactly. And Bluetooth technology has also evolved over the years, with newer versions offering faster data transfer speeds and lower power consumption. It's become an integral part of our digital lives, seamlessly connecting our devices and enhancing our mobile experience.
It's remarkable how radio waves, once confined to bulky radios and crackling transmissions, have become so miniaturized and integrated into our everyday lives.
It's a testament to the ingenuity of engineers and scientists who have continuously pushed the boundaries of radio technology, shrinking its size, increasing its efficiency, and expanding its capabilities. But our exploration of wireless communication doesn't end here. We've talked about local area networks and personal area networks, but what about connecting entire cities or even countries?
That sounds like a job for some serious radio muscle. Tell me more about these wide area wireless networks and how they're reshaping connectivity on a larger scale.
Wide Area Wireless Networks, or WNs, use radio waves to provide internet access over much larger geographical areas, covering entire cities or regions. They're like giant Wi-Fi networks, but with much greater range and capacity.
So it's like extending the reach of our wireless connectivity from our homes and offices to the entire urban landscape.
Exactly. WINs are used to provide internet access in areas where laying down traditional wired infrastructure might be impractical or expensive. They're also becoming increasingly popular as a backup option for businesses and organizations, providing redundancy in case of wired network outages.
It's like having a wireless safety net for our digital lives, ensuring we stay connected no matter what.
That's a great analogy. And just like other forms of wireless communication, WN technologies are constantly evolving, with newer generations offering faster speeds, lower latency, and greater capacity. It's all about meeting the growing demand for wireless data and ensuring everyone can access the internet, regardless of their location.
It's inspiring to see how radio technology is breaking down barriers and democratizing access to information. It's no longer a luxury, but a fundamental part of our modern society, connecting us in ways that were once unimaginable. But we've only just begun to scratch the surface of radio's capabilities. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll venture beyond our planet and explore how radio waves have enabled us to communicate with spacecraft, navigate using GPS, and even peer into the depths of space.
Get ready for an interstellar adventure. We'll uncover how radio waves have become our cosmic messengers, connecting us to the wonders of the universe and expanding our understanding of the cosmos.
I can't wait. It's mind-boggling to think that these invisible waves, once confined to terrestrial communication, have become our bridge to the stars.
It's a testament to the power of human curiosity and our relentless pursuit of knowledge. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights in the final part of our deep dive into the world of radio.
Welcome back to Tell Me More Stories Told as podcast. We're on this epic journey through the world of radio, and you know we've explored its origins, how it revolutionized broadcasting and communication, and of course how it powers our wireless networks. But now, get ready to blast off because we're about to discover how radio waves have become our cosmic messengers, connecting us to the vastness of space.
It really is mind-boggling when you think about it. These invisible waves that we use for so many everyday tasks also enable us to communicate with spacecraft billions of miles away, navigate using a constellation of satellites, and even peer into the depths of the universe.
It's like radio has become our cosmic language, bridging the gap between our planet and the mysteries of the cosmos.
Exactly. And our journey into space communication, well, it starts with a story of ambition and innovation, and maybe even a touch of Cold War rivalry.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. Set the scene for us. What were those early days of space communication like?
All right, so imagine this. The year is 1957. The world is absolutely gripped by the launch of Sputnik 1, the first artificial satellite to orbit Earth. It was a truly momentous achievement for the Soviet Union, but it also sparked, this intense competition between the superpowers to conquer space.
The space race was in full swing, a technological and ideological battle that captured the world's imagination.
Precisely. And communication was a crucial part of this race. Scientists and engineers quickly realized that radio waves, with their unique ability to travel through the vacuum of space, were the key to staying connected with spacecraft as they ventured farther and farther from Earth.
So radio waves became the umbilical cord, in a way, connecting us to these robotic explorers, transmitting vital data and commands across, well, the vast expanse of space.
Exactly. And You know those early space missions? Well, they relied on relatively simple radio transmitters and receivers. But as missions became more complex and spacecraft ventured farther, the demand for more robust and reliable communication systems grew. And this led to the development of sophisticated tracking stations all around the globe. These giant antennas could send and receive signals to and from spacecraft millions of miles away.
It's amazing to think about these massive dishes out there,
Yeah.
listening intently for the faintest whispers of radio waves from these distant spacecraft, relaying data that would ultimately unlock the secrets of our solar system.
It was, and still is, an incredible feat of engineering and a real testament to the power of radio technology. And these advancements weren't just about exploring the cosmos, they also had a profound impact on our lives right here on Earth. One of the most transformative applications of space communication was the development of the Global Positioning System, or as we know it, GPS.
GPS, the technology that's become so ubiquitous we almost take it for granted these days. It's in our phones, our cars, even our watches, guiding us with pinpoint accuracy.
It's truly a marvel of modern technology, and it all hinges on radio waves and a constellation of satellites orbiting Earth.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about how this incredible system works.
All right, well, imagine you have a group of friends spread out across a field, each holding a clock that's perfectly synchronized. If you know the exact time it takes for a sound to travel from each friend to you, you can calculate your distance from each of them.
Okay, I think I get that. It's like using sound as a measuring stick to sort of triangulate your position.
Exactly, and that's essentially how GPS works. But instead of sound, we use radio waves. There are at least 24 GPS satellites orbiting Earth, each one constantly transmitting radio signals that include its precise location and the current time.
So these satellites are like our friends in the field, each broadcasting their time and position using radio waves.
Precisely. Your GPS receiver, whether it's in your phone or your car, picks up these signals from multiple satellites. By measuring the time it takes for each signal to arrive, the receiver can calculate its distance from each satellite.
And with the distance from multiple satellites known, the receiver can then pinpoint its location on Earth with remarkable accuracy. It's like a cosmic game of triangulation using radio waves.
That's a great way to put it. And the applications of GPS are truly vast, from navigation and mapping to tracking wildlife movements, monitoring weather patterns, and even guiding precision agriculture. It's revolutionized so many industries and become an indispensable part of our modern world.
It's amazing how a technology that was initially developed for military purposes has become so deeply integrated into our everyday lives, all thanks to the ingenious use of radio waves.
Absolutely. It's a testament to the transformative power of technology and the unexpected ways in which scientific discoveries can shape our world.
It makes you wonder what other incredible applications of radio waves are waiting to be discovered out there. Speaking of discoveries, we can't forget about radio astronomy, a field that uses radio waves to, explore the universe and unlock its deepest secrets. It's like we've given radio waves this cosmic upgrade, turning them into our eyes and ears on the universe.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Radio astronomy allows us to study celestial objects that are completely invisible to optical telescopes. Many objects in space, like black holes, pulsars, and distant galaxies, emit radio waves that we can actually detect here on Earth using specialized radio telescopes.
So these radio telescopes are like giant ears, listening for the faintest whispers of radio waves from the depths of space, revealing phenomena that would otherwise remain hidden from our view.
Exactly. And radio astronomy has led to some of the most groundbreaking discoveries in astrophysics, helping us understand the formation, evolution of stars and galaxies, and even the universe itself.
It's like radio waves have opened up this whole new window on the cosmos, allowing us to explore realms that were once beyond our reach. It's truly humbling to think about.
It is. And as radio technology continues to advance, our ability to explore the universe through radio waves will only become more powerful and insightful. We're really on the verge of a new era of discovery thanks to the ingenious use of this invisible force that has connected us in ways we never could have imagined.
This has been an incredible deep dive into the world of radio, from its humble beginnings to its cosmic reach. It's just amazing to think about how this single scientific discovery has had such profound impact on our lives and our understanding of the universe.
I agree. It's a testament to the power of human curiosity, ingenuity, and our relentless pursuit of knowledge.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey. And for our listeners who want to explore further, we'll have links to more information on our website. It's like a radio wave treasure hunt waiting to be discovered.
And I encourage everyone to keep asking those curious questions because that's what fuels discovery and innovation. Who knows what other wonders of radio waves are waiting to be unveiled out there?
Absolutely. This is Tell Me More Stories Told His podcast, signing off. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those radio waves flowing.